Sell these 7 things before retiring. Advice from old people. Retirement is a time of transition, a time to simplify, to focus on what truly matters, and to ensure that your hard-earned savings last for as long as you do. Over the years, I've spoken with many retirees who regretted holding on to certain things for too long, draining their finances, and complicating their golden years. If you're approaching retirement, it's time to take a hard look at what's in your life and ask yourself, do I really need this? Here are 7 things you should seriously consider selling before retiring, not just to free up cash, but to reduce stress and create a life that aligns with your retirement goals. 1. The big house that's more trouble than it's worth. For decades, your home has been more than just a house. It's been the center of your family's life, the place where birthdays were celebrated, where holiday meals were shared, where you watched your children grow. Every room holds a story, every wall a memory. Selling it may feel like letting go of a part of your past, but as you enter retirement, it's important to ask yourself, is this house still serving me or am I serving it? The reality is, a big house is not just a sentimental keepsake, it's a financial and physical responsibility. The mortgage may be paid off, but the costs don't stop there. Property taxes, homeowners insurance, maintenance, heating and cooling, lawn care, repairs, these all add up, often draining thousands of dollars each year. And while you may have once handled home improvement projects with ease, the physical demands of maintaining a large home become more exhausting with age. Climbing ladders to clean gutters, shoveling snow, fixing a leaky roof, tasks that once seemed minor can become overwhelming, even dangerous. Beyond the cost and effort, there's also the question of space. Do you really need those extra bedrooms now that the kids have moved out? Do you still use the formal dining room? Or does it sit empty most of the year? The truth is, many retirees find themselves living in houses that were designed for a life they no longer have. And while it may be comforting to have space for family visits, is it worth the stress of keeping up a home that's too big for your needs? Selling your home before retirement isn't about giving up. It's about gaining freedom. Downsizing doesn't mean sacrificing comfort. In fact, it can improve your quality of life. A smaller home means lower expenses, less upkeep, and more time to focus on the things that truly bring joy. Imagine a cozy, single-level home with no stairs to worry about, or a maintenance-free condo where someone else takes care of the landscaping. Some retirees even choose to rent rather than own, giving them flexibility to travel or relocate without being tied down by a property. There's also a psychological freedom that comes with letting go. Holding on to a large home can sometimes feel like holding on to the past, a life that no longer fits. But retirement is a new chapter, an opportunity to redefine what home means. Instead of seeing downsizing as a loss, view it as a gain, the chance to simplify, to unburden yourself, to make space for new experiences. If selling your home seems overwhelming, start by asking yourself, what do I truly need? What do I want my retirement to look like? The answer will guide you toward a decision that's not just practical, but also deeply fulfilling. Because in the end, home isn't about square footage. It's about the life you create within it. And sometimes the best way to move forward is to let go. 2. The expensive cars that drain your wallet. There's a certain pride that comes with owning a beautiful car. Maybe it's the luxury sedan you finally rewarded yourself with after decades of hard work, or the sleek sports car that turns heads when you pull up to a stoplight. For some, it's the sturdy SUV that once carried kids to soccer games and road trips, or even the vintage classic that's been sitting in the garage, polished but rarely driven. These cars are more than just transportation. They represent milestones, achievements, and even memories of younger years when the open road felt limitless. But as retirement approaches, it's time to rethink whether these expensive vehicles still serve you or if they've quietly become a burden. The cost of keeping an expensive car isn't just in the initial purchase. It's in the insurance premiums, maintenance, repairs, fuel, and depreciation. Luxury brands, sports cars, and oversized SUVs often demand higher upkeep, specialized mechanics, and premium fuel, all of which add up quickly. Even if the car is fully paid off, it continues to drain your resources, often without adding real value to your daily life. Then there's the question of usage. Many retirees find that they simply don't drive as much as they used to. There's no more daily commute, no more school drop-offs, no more packed schedules requiring multiple vehicles. A second or third car may sit unused for weeks at a time, still racking up insurance costs and requiring occasional maintenance just to stay in working condition. Even a primary vehicle may not need to be as powerful, as fast, or as large as it once was. The reality is, retirement isn't about impressing others with what you drive. It's about making choices that give you financial freedom and peace of mind. Some people hold on to expensive cars out of a sense of identity. A certain car can symbolize success, independence, or even a youthful spirit. Letting it go may feel like letting go of a piece of yourself. But real independence in retirement comes from smart financial choices, not from what's parked in your driveway. Selling an expensive car and switching to a reliable, fuel-efficient model can free up thousands of dollars per year, money that can be spent on experiences, travel, family, or simply securing your financial future. This is not to say you shouldn't own a car in retirement. On the contrary, a dependable vehicle can provide freedom and mobility, allowing you to visit friends, run errands, and embark on road trips at your own pace. But the goal is to own a car that fits your needs, not your past ambitions. Many retirees find that a midsize sedan, a hybrid, or even a smaller SUV is more than enough for their lifestyle, offering comfort, safety, and efficiency without excessive costs. Selling an expensive car before retirement isn't about sacrifice. It's about realigning your priorities. It's about recognizing that the thrill of an expensive vehicle fades, but the financial peace of mind it brings when sold can last for years. It's about understanding that your money should work for you, not sit depreciating in a garage. Retirement is a time to embrace freedom, and sometimes that freedom starts with letting go of what no longer serves you. 3. The vacation home that sits empty. For many, owning a vacation home was a dream, a place to escape, to relax, to gather with family during the holidays or warm summer months. Perhaps it's a beachfront cottage where the waves once lulled you to sleep, a mountain cabin where you spent winters by the fire, or a lakeside retreat where your children learned to fish. That home may have held years of cherished memories, moments that felt like glimpses of a perfect life. But now, as retirement nears, it's time to ask whether that second home is still a blessing or if it has quietly become a burden. A vacation home may feel like a retreat, but in reality, it often becomes a constant responsibility. Unlike a primary residence, which is lived in year-round, a second home is often vacant for long stretches. Yet the costs never take a vacation. Property taxes, insurance, homeowners association fees, utilities, security systems, and ongoing maintenance continue to drain your finances, whether you're there or not. The occasional roof repair, plumbing issue, or storm damage can turn what was once a peaceful getaway into a source of stress. And if you're no longer visiting as frequently as you once did, you might be spending more time worrying about it than enjoying it. Many retirees find that their travel desires change over time. When you were younger, the idea of returning to the same place every year may have been comforting, but now the world feels open in a new way. Maybe you want to explore different destinations, experience new cultures, or spend time visiting family across the country. A second home, instead of offering freedom, can feel like an obligation, a place you feel guilty for not visiting enough simply because you're paying for it. There's also the reality that family dynamics shift. The children who once looked forward to summers at the lake may now have their own families, their own traditions, and their own busy schedules. The idea of gathering in the same place every year might not hold the same magic for them as it once did for you. Grandchildren grow up, and their vacations become filled with sports camps, school trips, and activities that make coordinating a trip to the family retreat more difficult. What was once a bustling hub of togetherness can slowly become a quiet, empty space. Some hesitate to sell because they see the vacation home as an investment, but the truth is, real estate in vacation areas can be unpredictable. If the home requires major renovations to maintain its value, or if the local market has shifted, it might not be the nest egg you once thought it was. Holding on to it for sentimental reasons can prevent you from using that money in ways that truly enrich your retirement, whether it's traveling freely, investing in experiences, or simply ensuring your financial security. Letting go of a vacation home doesn't mean letting go of the joy it brought you. It means recognizing that its purpose has changed, that its weight on your finances and your time no longer serves the life you want to live. Selling it can be an act of liberation, an opportunity to embrace flexibility, reduce stress, and focus on what truly matters. Retirement is about freedom, not obligations, and sometimes the most meaningful step toward that freedom is knowing when to let go.
4. Unused toys that are costing you money. There was a time when those toys, your boat, your RV, your motorcycle, or that golf cart, represented freedom. They were symbols of adventure, of the long weekend spent on the water, the cross country road trips, the thrill of the open highway. They were the reward for years of hard work, a way to savor the free time you once had in between life's obligations. But as retirement approaches, it's worth asking, are these still bringing me joy, or are they quietly becoming a burden? Expensive recreational vehicles are not just about the initial cost. They demand constant care, insurance, maintenance, repairs, and storage fees, all of which add up year after year. Boats need winterizing, RVs require meticulous upkeep, motorcycles demand safety checks, and even golf carts need regular maintenance. What was once a source of excitement can slowly transform into an expensive responsibility, one that requires effort and attention even when it's not being used. And if you're honest with yourself, how often are you really using them now? Many retirees hold on to these items out of nostalgia, believing they might return to those hobbies more frequently once work is no longer a factor. But the truth is, priorities shift. The road trips that once seemed so appealing might feel like too much of a hassle now. The boat that once brought joy might feel like more work than it's worth. What once seemed like a necessity for happiness may no longer fit into the life you're building in retirement. Then there's the hidden emotional weight of these items. Sitting in the driveway, in the garage, or in a storage unit, they serve as silent reminders of the past, of the person you were, of the dreams you once had. But retirement isn't about holding on to the past. It's about embracing the future, about simplifying your life so that you can focus on what truly matters. Every dollar spent on maintaining an unused toy is a dollar that could be spent on meaningful experiences, on travel, on visiting family, on creating new memories instead of clinging to old ones. There's also the reality that these items depreciate. Unlike a home that might gain value over time, Most recreational vehicles lose their worth the longer they sit unused. Selling them sooner rather than later means maximizing their value before they become outdated, before they require expensive repairs just to be marketable. That money could be invested, put towards something that genuinely improves your quality of life instead of something that just sits gathering dust. Letting go of these toys isn't about giving up on adventure, it's about redefining what adventure means to you now. Maybe that means renting an RV for a trip rather than owning one. Maybe it means using that money for a once in a lifetime experience instead of maintaining something you only use occasionally. Maybe it means accepting that the best parts of retirement aren't tied to possessions, but to the freedom of choice. And sometimes the best way to move forward is to lighten the load.
5. Timeshares that are hard to get rid of. When you first bought a timeshare, it probably felt like the perfect way to guarantee relaxation. A place you could return to year after year, a familiar retreat where you didn't have to worry about reservations, rising hotel costs, or last minute planning. It was a way to create consistency, a vacation home without the full responsibility of ownership. Maybe at the time it seemed like an investment in your future happiness, a promise of annual family gatherings or peaceful getaways. But now, as retirement approaches, that once appealing promise may have turned into something else entirely, a financial obligation you can't escape. The reality of timeshares is often very different from the dream that was sold. While the idea of a prepaid vacation may sound appealing, what's rarely discussed is the never-ending costs. Annual maintenance fees rise over time, special assessments can be imposed without warning, and whether you use the property or not, the bills keep coming. What may have started as an affordable luxury can quickly become an unrelenting financial drain, eating into a retirement budget that should be spent on things you truly enjoy. Even more frustrating is the lack of flexibility. Retirement is supposed to be a time of freedom, of exploring new places and making spontaneous decisions. But a timeshare locks you into the same location, the same schedule, and often the same restrictions year after year. Maybe that once beloved beachfront condo no longer holds the same excitement. Maybe your family's vacation preferences have changed. Maybe health issues make travel more complicated. But regardless of how your needs evolve, the timeshare remains, demanding your money even when it no longer fits your life. And then there's the biggest issue of all, selling it. Owners often find themselves stuck in an endless cycle of trying to offload a timeshare that no one wants. Many resale values are shockingly low, with some owners resorting to giving them away for free just to escape the financial burden. Worse, there's an entire industry of scammers preying on retirees desperate to sell, promising easy exits while charging outrageous fees for services that rarely deliver results. So, what's the solution? The first step is to be realistic about the financial impact of keeping it versus the difficulty of selling it. If your timeshare is draining your resources and no longer bringing you joy, it's time to find a way out. That might mean negotiating with the company directly to buy it back, finding a reputable resale platform, or even giving it away as a tax-deductible donation. The process may not be simple, but the financial and emotional relief of letting it go is worth the effort. Selling a timeshare before retirement isn't just about saving money, it's about reclaiming your freedom. It's about breaking free from an obligation that no longer serves you and embracing the ability to travel when, where, and how you want. Retirement is about choice, and the sooner you let go of what ties you down, the sooner you can fully enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build. 6. Old collections that no one wants. For years, maybe even decades, you've been building a collection. Antiques, figurines, coins, baseball cards, fine china, or perhaps shelves filled with first edition books. Each item has a story, a piece of history tied to a moment in your life. Maybe it started as a passion, something that brought you joy in the hunt for rare finds. Or perhaps it was an investment, something you believed would grow in value over time. Whatever the reason, these collections have been a part of your identity, a reflection of the things that once mattered most to you. But as you enter retirement, it's time to ask yourself a difficult question. Who will want this when I'm gone? The truth is, most collections hold far more sentimental value than financial worth. What once seemed like treasures may now be seen as clutter by the next generation. Your children or grandchildren, living in a world of minimalism and digital convenience, may not have the same emotional attachment to these objects. They may not want to inherit boxes of porcelain dolls, vintage stamps, or an attic full of memorabilia. What you see as a carefully curated collection, they may see as a burden to sort through after you're gone. And even if they do appreciate it, they may not have the space or interest to maintain it. Then there's the financial reality. Not all collectibles appreciate in value. Markets change, trends fade, and what was once highly sought after may no longer be in demand. Many retirees hold on to collections believing they will eventually be worth a fortune, only to realize too late that the market has shifted, or worse, that the cost of storing and maintaining these items has outweighed their actual worth. Even those with significant value can take years to sell at the right price, requiring time and effort that may not be worth the return. There's also the emotional weight of these possessions. A collection that once brought joy can become a source of stress, something you feel obligated to keep rather than something you actively enjoy. The time spent dusting, organizing, and worrying about its future could be better spent on experiences that truly enrich your retirement, traveling, spending time with loved ones, or simply enjoying the peace of a home free from unnecessary clutter. Letting go of a collection doesn't mean letting go of the memories attached to it. It means choosing what truly adds value to your life now. If certain pieces still bring you joy, keep them. But for the rest, consider selling them while you can still oversee the process, ensuring they go to collectors who will appreciate them. Auction houses, online marketplaces, and estate sales can help turn what was once a hobby into extra cash for your retirement. And if selling feels overwhelming, donating to a museum or charity can give these items new life while supporting a cause you care about. Retirement is about lightening your load financially, physically, and emotionally. A lifetime of collecting doesn't have to mean a lifetime of holding on. Sometimes the greatest freedom comes not from what we keep, but from what we're finally willing to let go of. 7. The idea that you need to financially support adult children. As parents, it's natural to want to give your children everything, to protect them, to help them when they struggle, to ensure they have a better life than you did. For years, you worked hard to provide for them, to pay for their education, to support their dreams. Even now, with retirement on the horizon, the instinct to help doesn't fade. Maybe your adult child is struggling with student loans, trying to buy their first home, or facing unexpected financial hardship. You might feel an obligation to step in, to cover their expenses, to give them the head start you wish you had. But before you do, ask yourself, at what cost? The truth is, your retirement savings are finite. There are no loans for retirement. Unlike a house or a car, you can't take out a loan to pay for your medical bills, your daily expenses, or the years ahead when you may need additional care. Every dollar you give away is a dollar you may need later, a dollar that could mean the difference between financial security and uncertainty. It's easy to think, I'll just help them this once. But financial support can quickly become an expectation, and before you know it, You're sacrificing your own stability for the sake of their convenience. Many retirees put off their own dreams, delaying travel, downsizing, or even continuing to work longer than they planned just to support adult children who are perfectly capable of standing on their own. But by doing so, you're not just compromising your own future. You may also be preventing them from learning essential financial independence. Struggles build resilience. If they never have to face the challenge of managing their own finances, of finding solutions to their own problems, they may never develop the skills they need to thrive on their own. This doesn't mean you shouldn't ever help your children. If you're financially comfortable and giving a little won't impact your quality of life, then by all means, be generous. But it should never come at the cost of your security. Instead of handing out money, consider teaching them how to manage their own finances, how to budget, how to save, how to invest wisely. Encourage them to live within their means, to make thoughtful financial decisions, and to take responsibility for their own future. Letting go of the belief that you must always financially support your adult children is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of wisdom. It's recognizing that the best gift you can give them isn't just money, but the confidence and ability to stand on their own. And the best gift you can give yourself is the peace of mind that comes with knowing your retirement is secure, that you've done your part, and that now it's time to focus on the years ahead, on your dreams, your well-being, and the life you've spent decades working toward.
Final thoughts. Retirement is about freedom. Retirement is not just about reaching a certain age or leaving behind the workforce. It is a transition into a new phase of life, one that should be defined by freedom, purpose, and peace of mind. Yet, too often, people enter retirement carrying unnecessary burdens, financial, emotional, and physical, that weigh them down. The things we accumulate over the years, whether they are homes, cars, possessions, or even outdated beliefs about money, can quietly drain our resources and complicate what should be the most liberating years of our lives. Letting go is not about loss. It is about gaining something far more valuable. Selling off unnecessary assets, cutting financial obligations, and simplifying your lifestyle does not mean giving up on the things that bring you joy. On the contrary, it means making space for what truly matters. It means choosing experiences over objects, security over excess, and peace over obligation. It is about recognizing that the best parts of life are not tied to material possessions, but to the relationships we nurture, the adventures we embark on, and the memories we create. Every decision you make leading into retirement should reflect the life you want to live, not the life you once had or the one others expect of you. By freeing yourself from financial and material burdens, you are not just protecting your savings, you are ensuring that the years ahead are filled with possibility. Retirement is not about holding on, it is about moving forward, unencumbered, with the confidence that you have made choices that will allow you to fully embrace the life you have worked so hard to build. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.